it again?
Yeah, what black?
I'll just touch this.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
So just like compressions, I like to kind of just do a little feel of the tissue. And then we are ready to begin. All right, so when you start your effleurage, you start at the sternum with your fingertips together, and then you'll come out around the shoulders, underneath the traps, and then up the neck. And then you'll go to the suboccipital muscles and you'll just rest there for a second and kind of let the head be heavy into your fingers. And then gently lower the head back down, one hand, next hand, again around. And underneath the traps, I do kind of like more of a shuffle, just because it's usually harder to get your hands under there because of not having any cream. Does that feel okay?
Mm-hmm.
One hand again. This time we're going to come up more to the side.
Are you kind of pulling the scroll kind of away a little bit?
Yep.
Even with the effleurage. Okay.
Doing a little traction. So now we're ready for Petrissage. So I'm going to go ahead, go under the neck, and you're going to just slightly tilt the head. And then you'll come in with your hand, and you're going to do Petrissage on the traps. And then you'll go up the neck. So it's like this motion. And then effleurage, and then another Petrissage. And one more time. Now we're going to do a little Petrissage on the more of the anterior neck. So with that, I'm going to gently bring the head back. I'm going to come in here with this part of my fingers. I'm just going to do a real gentle Petrissage up the SCM. Does that feel okay?
Mm-hmm.
Some people are really tender here, so just be careful. And then I effleurage to the back of the neck, come down, we'll do effleurage, and then I'm going to come back into it and Petrissage again. We'll do that one more time. And then I'm going to do an effleurage and reconnect all of it. Set the head down. And then this hand comes up again. We're going to do a full effleurage. A little Petrissage just on the traps bilateral. And then effleurage up the neck. And now we're going to take this way and we're going to do effleurage on this side. And Petrissage up the neck, effleurage down and around, Petrissage again. Another effleurage with some Petrissage. So everything in threes. And we'll gently bring the head a little bit more neutral. We'll do the Petrissage of the SCM on this side. Petrissage up the neck. Effleurage. And as I finish my strokes, I'm kind of moving the hair. So sometimes hair likes to get really involved. So like right here, I do this effleurage stroke where I'm actually pulling the hair out of the way. And then I'll come and do another effleurage. We'll reconnect it. A little bilateral petrissage on the traps. Effleurage up the neck. So now I'm going to show, so I'm going to petrissage the neck like this, both sides. So it's going to be really hard to see on the camera, but if you can get in there. Yep. And let your head be heavy if you can. Lots of times people want to lift their head and move it. So if you can remind them to try and keep their head heavy or relax their head as much as they can. All right, so another effleurage to reconnect, and now we're ready for some friction. So I always petrissage the traps a lot just because I think they're usually like super tight on people, and it's just like a nice connective stroke. So I'm going to go back to the right side since that's where I started. We're going to start with our friction on this side. So I typically like to start more in the suboccipital muscles. So let me know if the pressure is too much for you or if you want more. So I'm going to start right up at the suboccipital. I'm going to put my thumb in there and I'm going to ride it down. Is that pressure okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want more than that?
No, it's a good pressure.
Okay. So typically thumbs are fine in this area because you aren't doing a lot of pressure. If they want more pressure, then I would recommend using a knuckle or knuckles instead. But yeah. So I will, again, we're frictioning down. And I like to follow it all the way out. And then do like an effleurage back up. And then I like to do circular friction right here. You'll feel it's like, it's at the occipital ridge. And some people are super duper tender in here, so you can be careful, but I'm just using all my fingers and going like this. And you can kind of do circular friction all the way to the ear. And if they, you know, with hair, you're kind of always moving it. You just let it do what it needs to do.
I have a lot of baby hairs.
Yeah, and it's curly. So it's like, I'll do what I want. So another friction stroke. Come all the way out. Back up. So now we're gonna do a little bit more, I guess a little bit more anterior. So now, so we started right at the base of the occipital. I'm like, I'm just gonna move your head just to show. So just next to the spine right here. Now we're gonna come a little bit further forward. And as we move closer to the anterior part, you don't want the head as rotated. So now we're gonna start here and we're gonna come down, and kind of careful, and if you feel a heartbeat,
Lighter.
lighter.
Yeah.
If you feel a heartbeat, then you're probably not on the right spot. So a heartbeat means you're on like an artery. So this one I'm just going slower. She's got a lot of stuff in here.
And do we tend to go a little bit lighter through there because of the artery?
Yep.
Okay.
And nerve too. You could even do, if they are really tender, you could just use your fingertips. And I like to kind of ride the clavicle too, because everything attaches there. And then the last one is the very anterior. So typically when I work the anterior neck, I like to go upwards. You can go downwards, but I like to start going up. So just gonna move this smidgy poo. So I'm gonna go to the clavicle where it meets the sternum. And I'm gonna just use my fingers and I'm gonna go up. Is that pressure okay?
Mm-hmm.
Up all the way past the jaw, almost to like the mandibles. So like we know the SCM is right here.